Type 2. Diabetes. After I retired in 2016, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I have always struggled with my weight at 5 feet 11 inches tall, and I have seesawed in my adult life from 170 to 250 pounds. With diet and exercise, I recently dropped to under 200 pounds and have tested out of the diabetic range. It hasn't been easy to drop 40 pounds, but being retired has helped me find the time to concentrate on losing weight. It also helps that I'm miles away from the free food buffet called the public library. The dirty little secret that all public librarians understand is that their loyal patrons are conspiring to get them fat. On a daily basis, retired women are coming into the library with trays of sweets and snacks for the staff. These women love the library, and they love to cook. And they are constantly combining those two passions at the expense of our health. I do not want to blame my extra heft on my lack of self-discipline or my sweet tooth. However, I would rather blame it on a 95-year-old patron named Enola. Enola, who was born in 1917 and still comes into the Barkman Library at 100 years old. She also makes the most delicious chocolate chip cookies I have ever eaten. She is a retired teacher who has been a patron of the Barkman Library since it opened in 1990. Enola can't weigh more than 110 pounds and is as healthy as any 20-year-old who has walked through the library doors. Apparently, she has an eating disorder that compels her to cook a lot of food that she's unable to consume, so she takes it to the library. I wish Enola was the only person who conspired to keep me fat. But there is always some sort of food available to our staff left in our meeting rooms. Many times, a group who held a meeting at our library leaves us with their leftover snacks. The box of donuts they brought in might be half full. And since we don't charge for our meeting space, they always graciously give our staff the leftovers as thanks for our help. Frequent patrons may have observed that many of the staff are a few pounds overweight. Don't blame the staff, as they work in a public library, and the patrons with platters of food are coming in constantly. Enola was a member of our monthly book discussion group, and she enjoyed socializing with other people who also loved books. The book discussion meetings are like a Golden Corral buffet potluck. Every member brings in a food dish, and the calories are stacked up on the free food table. As a library manager, I always had a programming budget that allowed the purchase of some snacks for the variety of library-sponsored events. To increase attendance for a public program, we would supply food for the patrons. It is an unspoken rule. The patrons graced the library staff with their platter of cookies, and in turn, we provided snacks for library programs. Anything that isn't eaten during the library programs goes to the staff area. During our book group discussion, Enola talked about her life as a teacher, and at one meeting she told me that her father was in his late 50s when she was born. Her father was born in 1860 and was a small child during the Civil War. It was amazing to me that in only 2 generations she had a connection to the Civil War. I would not be surprised if Enola lived to be 110 or more. When I was still manager of Barkman, she told me she had an older brother who was still alive. For Enola, the secret to living a long life is, don't eat the thousands of cookies you bring into the library. Hopefully, it is not too late for me to extend my longevity, and that retiring from the buffet called the public library will add at least another 10 years to my life. God bless Enola and her love for libraries, but does she have to kill us literally with her kindness and cookies?